And it's been so blatantly obvious this entire time, but only a few days ago I realized what actually happened. Ever since SML movie Jeffy's Piggy Bank, when Goodman first showed up to tell Marvin that his house payment was past due, Goodman has been showing up to Marvin's house and getting his house payment from him with the most ridiculous threats imaginable, causing Marvin to have to jump through hoops to pay Goodman, which makes for a great episode. But in the end, Marvin usually gets his house payment paid, and it all started out with this.
$500? I don't know how I'm gonna pay that.
Well, you better figure out how you're gonna pay that.
How'd you get inside my house?
Because I have a key! Because my bank owns your f***ing house until you pay it off!
Oh, well, I don't know how I'm gonna pay this.
Well, you better find a way by midnight tonight, or else I'm taking your house, I'm taking your red couch, I'm taking your hat, and I'm even gonna take your girlfriend.
But what's the actual story? Because Mr. Goodman didn't always come to Marvin's house to get his house payment, and Marvin didn't even always live in this house. So let's start from the beginning. Ever since SML began, they were inside Logan's mom's house. Logan, he's the director of the show, and this was up until 2015 when they uploaded SML movie Bowser's House Fire, in which Junior watches an episode of Doofy the Dragon, and in the episode, Doofy lights a match, and Junior thinks it's the coolest thing ever. So he goes to ask Chef Pee-Pee for the matches, but Chef Pee-Pee doesn't allow him, as kids shouldn't play with fire ever. So he compromises with Junior and instead lights a candle for him to look at. But when Junior takes the candle to his room, Bowser then says that they're all going to McDonald's, and Junior, being the irresponsible child that he is, he leaves the candle lit in the house while nobody's home. And once they got back to the house, the candle flipped over and lit the entire house on fire. When they get out of the car, they see Brooklyn Guy trying to fight the fire with a garden hose due to the fire department taking pay cuts apparently. But after a few hours, the garden hose eventually puts out the house fire, which isn't realistic at all. But then Brooklyn Guy comes back and tells Junior and Chef Pee-Pee that the house caught on fire due to the candle. And then Chef Pee-Pee promptly takes Junior to the car and throws some haymakers. But in the meantime, Bowser asks Brooklyn Guy if the house is actually destroyed, and Brooklyn Guy says it is, but luckily for them, Bowser has home insurance, and so they're gonna cover the cost for a new place to live. So then soon after, Brooklyn Guy takes them to their new apartment, which will be where they will live for the next 6 months until their new house is finished building. However, they did stay in the apartment for a lot longer than 6 months, but it was just supposed to be Chef Pee-Pee, Junior, and Bowser living there. Until the very next episode, we see an SML movie, Mario's Family Moves Out, in which Mario goes to a meeting with his accountant, and his accountant tells him that he's not doing too good financially. And eventually, they agree on the idea to go ask Bowser if Mario could stay with them, so they show up to Bowser's apartment, and Mario asks if he can move in with Bowser, but he quickly said no, absolutely not, until they eventually made up a lie so that Mario and all of his friends and family could move in.
We can make a deal. What's something that you like? What do you love?
What do I love? Oh, I love Charlie.
Charlie. Okay, Charlie, yes. Good luck. Good news. My financial buddy just so happens to know Charlie. You know Charlie.
I could make a few calls.
So, if I can get you a meet and greet with Charlie, we can live here, right?
I guess so. If you can get that meet and greet, I don't care what you can do.
But here's the thing, it's Marvin moving in with Bowser, meaning it's Bowser's apartment, because Bowser's home insurance is paying for this apartment until he can move into the new house, which is a very important detail to remember. But then Mario and his family move in with Bowser, and they live there for the next year and a half, until in 2016, an SML movie The Koopalings Part 2, where Junior and all of his clones/siblings had to clean the entire apartment, or else all of his siblings get kicked out of the house. And so once they start cleaning, it goes well, but after enough time, it starts to go south, and Wendy gets extremely mad and chainsaws the couch in half. And after Bowser and Chef Pee-Pee see the aftermath, they ship off all the clones to North Korea. But soon after, Mr. Goodman knocks on the door and asks if he can speak to the person who signed the lease. And then Mario further confirms it was Bowser and calls Bowser over.
May I speak with the tenants, please?
What? The tenants? Who's the tenants?
The person who signed the lease.
Oh, that's Bowser. Bowser, there's someone at the door for you!
Yeah, who is it?
Then Goodman asks to take a look inside, and once he sees the couch, he evicts them all out of the apartment, making them homeless. Until the very next episode, in SML movie The New House, we see that they all had to stay at the Holiday Inn Hotel until they could find a new place to live. And then Brooklyn Guy knocks on the door looking for Mario and Bowser, and once inside, he tells Bowser that a year and a half ago when his house burned down, Brooklyn guy was gonna build them a new one, but apparently they didn't even try, and instead they found a recent foreclosure to purchase, and once they look at the house, they decide they want to live there and don't want their old house rebuilt. But the thing is, in every episode about the housing situation, it's Bowser who's the owner or the tenant who signs the lease, and it's Bowser's home insurance that paid for the new house as well. But it's only 6 months later that Goodman shows up at the door and tells Marvin this.
Hello?
Hi, good evening, Mario. I checked your mail for you.
You checked my mail for me?
Yeah, it's a letter from my company to you, and I wanted to personally deliver it to you, just to make sure you got it, okay?
Okay.
All right, have a good evening.
All right. $500? I don't know how I'm gonna pay that.
Well, you better figure out how you're gonna pay that.
Which then causes Marvin to have to take Jeffy's money and then results in Jeffy sending a manhunt for the person who stole his money, but in the end, Jeffy forgives Marvin. But the thing is, the house was already fully paid for by Bowser's home insurance. And including the fact that in SML movie The Door, when they were almost murdered in the house, if the house wasn't paid off, they could have sued and won more money than the house was worth in court. And this turned into a trend for SML to inspire storylines, beginning with Goodman asking for his house payment, such as in SML movie The Bet, which is almost exactly 1 month after. Goodman comes again and asks for Marvin's house payment. And then 6 months later, in SML movie Jeffy the Rapper 2, Mr. Goodman comes by again and threatens to turn Marvin into No Nipple Tim. And then again, 2 months later, in SML movie Jeffy's Paper Shredder, Goodman comes by and threatens to bite off Marvin's nipples.
Because if you don't have your house payment right now, I'm gonna bite your nipples. Ow! And when your nipples are 8 feet long, I'm gonna double touch.
But there is a reason for all of this. In SML movie The Contract, Marvin gets a knock at the door and Goodman shows up with his billionaire friend Chief Wachupi. But his name is really Craig. And it's Goodman and Craig messing with Marvin. They give him a contract and tell Marvin that he has to look at it for 10 minutes, and then after 10 minutes he'll get $50 million for his house. And once the contract is destroyed, we see Goodman and Craig in their car talking about the fact that they made a bet for $50 million if Marvin will destroy the contract in 10 minutes or less. And during the conversation, Goodman reveals this.
Every time I drop something valuable off here, they always find a way to screw it up. I don't know what the hell goes on in that house. This one time, I had a dog I didn't want anymore, so instead of taking it to a pound, I brought it here and told Marvin that it was worth $2 million, and that I would give him $50,000 to watch it for me. And when I came back, they had shaved the dog and put a red nose on it and told me it was a reindeer.
You've got to be kidding me.
If Goodman is messing with Marvin over the most random things such as the contract and Goodman's dog, and in SML movie The Diamond, Mr. Goodman gives Mario a diamond worth hundreds of millions of dollars and calls it a kidney stone, and then Marvin needs to safeguard it. But a bunch of crazy stuff happens soon after, and what kidney stone looks like that? And to top it all off, it's not even Marvin's house. He's just living with Bowser, meaning Marvin doesn't actually owe Goodman any house payments. He's just too stupid to realize, which is why Goodman continues to mess with him. But let me know what you guys think, or if I missed anything down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and subscribe.